Hi everyone, welcome back to Faith and Flour. This is Robin, and today I'm going to take you inside our pantry, which is also my office. You've seen our pantry many times. In fact, I have a whole pantry reorganization video that I did recently, so I will have that up in the cards and down in the description box. But I don't show this side of our pantry very often because it can be a little untidy. I did a pretty big decluttering and reorganization of this area in another video, and it's working pretty good, but there is definitely room for improvement, and it's just never been exactly what I wanted it to be. So in today's video, I'm going to do a little bit more decluttering, but I'm also just going to make this area more functional. I'm going to get rid of a lot of this really unsightly visual clutter and try to make this space a little bit more serene and relaxing. This is where I spend so much time editing videos and working on emails and other things related to my channel. I like to keep my cookbooks in here because of course it's also a pantry. And I've been keeping, of course, all of my planners and things like that because I need to have access to those things when I'm working here. This bookshelf is so tightly packed that I can hardly pull anything out. I have some Bible study things in here, which I don't tend to use in this room a lot, so I'll probably take those out. And then some containers on the top shelf that just don't look all that great. And I'm going to try to figure out how I can reorganize things, like I said, to improve the visual aesthetic. And then this cabinet is underneath the counter, and this is where I keep a lot of office supplies and gift wrapping things. Just a lot of stuff in here that could definitely be decluttered and reorganized. So I'm gonna tackle that while I'm in here today as well. Before I even begin, I am going to take care of all of the paperwork that is strewn all over my desk. And so I have things like receipts that I need to enter, bills that need to be paid, and just some paperwork that needs to be filed. This is our household binder. I did a video where I explained how I use this, so I will link that below in case you're interested. We aren't entirely paperless, so that comes in really handy. And now I'm going to just clear absolutely everything out of my home office. One of the things that won't be returning to this area is my sewing machine. I've had it tucked in this back corner, but it's so heavy, so it was always hard to lift over the printer and use. And I often take it out into the kitchen when I'm using it anyway. So I'm going to store that in our linen closet where it'll be a little bit easier for me to pick up and move. And I don't use it often, so it doesn't need to be in this space. Everything cleared out, I'm going to take this opportunity to wipe down the shelves and the countertop. It's been a while since I've seen this space so open and visually clean of all clutter. And when I put everything back in here, I want to sort of maintain that vibe. I don't want it to have that cluttered full feeling anymore. And there were a lot of things in there. This is all of it out on our kitchen island, and so it really is a lot. These are things generally that I really need to have access to. So as much as I'd like to declutter more, most of this really does need to get back in there. One thing that will help to create a little more space on my bookshelf is to relocate the Bible study items back in our bedroom where I use them daily. I'm also going to relocate some of the items under here because they are not being used and they're taking up some valuable real estate here in my office. So I'm going to clear those things out and put them in other areas that make more sense. And that way I should have more space to clear out some of the things that don't necessarily need to be right in front of me in the office. Like these boxes that I kept out on the top shelf that contain office supplies and stationery. To really level up the look of my office, I am doing a refresh using some items from Erin Condren. They have the most beautiful desk accessories, and I bought some of the file folders in this gold mid-century design, and it was the perfect match for my office. So when I saw that they had other coordinating accessories, I couldn't wait to get some. I will put links for all of these items in the description box in case you're interested, and I want to thank Erin Condren for helping me out with this. Erin Condren offers a lot of other colors and designs in these same pieces, so be sure to check those out. In addition to the functional pieces, I also picked out some pretty things. Erin Condren has adorable things like this nesting organizer tray set. This is just going to look so pretty, and I just had to get one of their hourglasses. They come in 3 different sizes. This one is a 20-minute hourglass, and it's just so cute. I got another pack of the file folders that sort of started it all for me so that I have some extras on hand. And I chose a couple of acrylic pieces that are not only beautiful but really functional, and I'll show you how I'm using them. I love Erin Condren, and these things were perfect for me, but you can find similar items in your style and within your budget at places like Michael's and Target or any other place that sells office supplies. With the printer pushed back in the corner where the sewing machine used to be, I've got a lot more space already, and there's even enough room on the side for our household binder. Now for the fun part, trying to decide how to use all of these great accessories. These magazine holders are going to be great for keeping all of my planners. I've also got one for my interchangeable covers and some of the stickers and accessories I like to use for planning. And then I also got some of these acrylic ones, which are super cute. They are perfect for the petite planners. I use those all the time, and some of the notebooks from Erin Condren. Plus they look so cute and they'll still be completely visible. But the rest of them are going to contain things that are a little bit unsightly, and that's what I love about them. So I've got one that is filled with some folders. I didn't even have to change these out because it doesn't matter what they look like. They're going to be kept invisible but completely accessible. I've got another one to corral receipts that we need to keep and some other household finance things, and one for all of my YouTube things, papers that I need for collaborations and video ideas. Also like that I can insert labels into these, and I didn't get my act together for this video, and I wanted to live with everything for a little while too before I label them, but that's something that I definitely want to do. After I played around with the arrangement of how I wanted everything, I started putting all of my cookbooks back on the shelf. I save one of the magazine holders to corral all of the cookbooks that don't stand well on the shelf or that are really small and can get lost, and it also serves as a great bookend. The last time I was arranging a bookshelf, a lot of you recommended pulling all of the books forward so that they look very uniform even though they're different sizes, so that's what I did next. Then Patrick installed my new monitor, and I am so excited about this. I have been editing all of my videos on my laptop since I started my YouTube channel. He has been trying to convince me to get a large screen like this for a long time, and I finally consented, and I do not know why I waited so long. It's been so nice. So that is giving this whole space a new look as well. Once everything was up and running, I had fun unpacking all of my new accessories and styling my workspace. Back in the cabinet, I decided to store my meal planning binder and my recipe box, which get used almost daily, along with only the things that we use on a regular basis here in my office, and I removed anything that we don't. I've got fresh batteries in a plastic box and used ones in this cardboard box, and so we'll take those to be recycled, and then all of our gift wrap items are here as well. A couple of years ago, I reorganized all the drawers here in the pantry, and I used this one for office supplies. This works great. It has stayed very organized, which means it's working well for us, so I'm gonna leave that alone. I also wanted to show you how I use the space under my desk. I put in a couple of command hooks so that I could keep my purse on one side and my tote bag on the other, and they're up off the floor but very accessible. Now to remind you of what things looked like before. There was just too much visual clutter in this space. I had an overstuffed bookcase, a lot of bins out that just weren't visually pleasing, a lot of paper clutter, things that are functional but not conducive to creativity. Now I feel like my workspace is a calm, beautiful area that contains everything that I need to function, but does it in a much more visually pleasing way with colors that are soothing and sort of blend into the colors that were already here. And so they don't stand out in a negative way. It's a much more sort of classic streamlined look, I would say. And everything that I have on my desk is something that's necessary, or else it's something that gives me a lot of pleasure visually. And so I've got an hourglass that is actually functional and pretty, and I just love how the colors work together. Even my favorite mug goes along with this color scheme, and I've had that for years. It was a gift from a friend. So this particular pattern from Erin Condren was the absolute perfect match for my area, and the desk trays that are part of their new collection have the pink colors in it that I love as well. They're great accents. This was a fun project, and I know I'm going to enjoy this office refresh or makeover for years to come. If you enjoyed today's video, be sure to let me know by giving it a thumbs up. I hope that it gave you some inspiration for refreshing an area of your home. And if you haven't already done so, make sure you subscribe. Subscribing is easy and absolutely free. All you have to do is click on my picture. Thank you for spending your time with me here today. It really means a lot. I look forward to talking with you in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. So until then, have a wonderful week.